Hello, everyone. My name is NerdBuilder. I'd like to welcome you back into another episode of Mine Colonies. I hope you're having a great day so far. So, it's been a little while since I posted a video or had a live stream, and I apologize for that. I appreciate everyone hanging around. It's been a busy couple of months. I recently got engaged to my fiance, and we've been going through the process of building a home. So it's been a lot between that and work, and I had to kind of put content creating on the back burner. But I'm hopeful now that I'll be able to kind of get back into a more regular uploading and streaming schedule. So hopefully soon. But I appreciate everyone's support and hanging around during the process. So, with that being said, I've still had some time to do some things in the world here. I haven't put the world completely on the back burner. I've been doing little by little just off stream. So, since the last time I've done a video, a bunch of stuff has changed, and I see our guard is really intently watching our house right behind us, but a bunch of different changes. Today we're not going to do a new build. I figured that it's been a while. We only have a handful left of new buildings to build. I think we're about 3 or 4 buildings left. So today what I thought we would just do is do an update video about some of the things that I have been working on around the county because it'll look slightly different than it did before. I also want to point out that some of the build styles have changed. Again, we've been using the Caledonia style for a while now since we really changed over from the MineColonies original style last year. And the style recently changed slightly, and I'm a little bit more of a fan of the old way that it looked. I actually updated the MineColonies mod along with all of the supporting mods that go along with it recently, and I noticed that they changed the Caledonia style, and I'm trying to find an example. We'll probably see one as we walk around because some of the upgrading I've been doing, you're kind of seeing it with some of the different style wood. You can kind of see it on the warehouse behind there, how it kind of changed the look a little bit. I have to, like I said, I'm a little bit more of a fan of how it was before, but I think it still looks nice, and I still think Caledonia is my favorite style. So the skyline around our county, which I take it in and admire it every so often, has gotten significantly bigger, and the county itself has gotten bigger, which leads me to a question which I haven't really found an answer to. So if you do know the answer to this, please drop it down below in the comments section. As you can see on our JEI map here, our county is pretty large. We span all the way, within those borders, obviously, but where all the wall is and all the buildings are, that is all our county pretty much. So our house is right over here on this side of our county, right here. That's where we are right now. And it feels like at points that this side of the county does not run when I'm kind of standing on this side of the county. And is the county active the entire, like for the entire area while you're within it, or is it only within your render distance? Because I do have the render distance set about 20. Again, I have a little bit more of a beefier graphics card and a CPU, so I'm able to do so, have it up just a little bit more, but I could see some of the buildings in the distance, but I feel like sometimes they're not going. So if you happen to know the answer to that, please drop that down below, just so I know if I'm AFKing or do anything else. The reason, and I'll get into the reason why I'm asking that in just a little bit. But I figure we'll go around the county today, and I'll kind of talk about some of the changes that I've done around here. And I think in our next episode, that's when we'll try to get the last couple new buildings done in the series here. So one of the first major changes, as you probably already noticed, is there is now markings on the on the pavement. So I have been messing around a little bit with the painter tools, which are actually pretty cool if you have the ultimate car mod, because the streets felt kind of plain. And I'll preface it by saying I didn't do all of the roads, just some of them around the house here and down in the lower part of our county. But it's actually a pretty cool tool that allows you to put markings. It makes it feel more like a road. And you can see we have the double yellow line and the shoulder markers there. But it's pretty cool. I'm actually going to switch back into first person, and let's go up here just so I can kind of show this out. We'll go right. Let's see, where do I have markings? Maybe back here. All right, we'll go right over here. So you can kind of see where I was working on it, and then I got distracted and did something else. But if you squat down, it gives you all these different options. Again, you have an option to construct a yellow painter or a yellow painter. You can actually task your colonists to build one, create one for you, which is pretty cool. I've had to do that about twice because they have a decent durability, but they do run out. And obviously, I don't want to waste a mending book on those things. But yeah, you could do all these different lines, double lines down the middle, on the side, all these different like traffic lines. It's really cool. So I've just been kind of doing kind of basic just around the edges here and playing around with it a little bit. I put an X over here. I was hoping to put like a do not enter because again, this is kind of like a boulevard thing, but yeah, the closest I could find was this X, so I'm not sure if this will stay or not. They're pretty easy to get rid of. Again, you can just break them by essentially punching them there, and then I kind of made a mistake here because you can kind of have it more tucked into the line there. I still have to kind of mess around with it a little bit more about doing it around the edges. I don't know if I could get a cleaner one on the edge. I may not because, again, it kind of just covers the length of the block, so it makes it a little bit of a challenge, but I think this looks pretty decent here, and I really like it where it's really noticeable. And as we're walking down, I'll also point out, I think we're going to try to put glowstone blocks in the streets here to kind of light up all of the streets because originally we were doing the lamppost over on our main boulevard down that way, but they're kind of, I don't know, blocky, or it doesn't look as good, I don't think. I think this is a little bit more subtle. It gives off a decent amount of light, and it's just flush within the road instead of having to put like a lamppost here. Because in certain points, obviously, we've constructed the colony to be kind of tight together. So as tight as can be anyway. So you can see right here, like the house here is kind of flush up on the road. And we have our wall here because right over here is the edge down to the lower part of our colony. So not a lot of room here unless we're going to put the lamppost here. But there's other parts of the colony, like up this way, for example, that there's not as much room. So I thought this might be a little bit of a better way to go. It provides a decent amount of light. And I think it actually looks pretty cool to have like the lighting within the sidewalk here. But we're going to head on over to our airport over here. And what I'm really happy with, and I actually spent a good amount of time working this up, is I put the paint lines on the runway here. I thought it looked really cool. Like it makes it feel more like an actual runway, with the touchdown markers right here, even though we never land from this direction for obvious reasons, because that would be a difficult landing here. And it goes all the way down, and like it looks really cool. It actually, I think it's helped me a little bit. Outside of Minecraft, I do like to play Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's one of my other favorite games, but it's hard. It's a little bit different when you're doing it with like a keyboard when you're doing a landing. And I think this is right down the middle, these lines. So it's helped me, I know, when I'm coming in for a landing, to center the plane coming down and also to kind of know where to touch down. So these markings are almost right at the end, but you want to aim for pretty much one of these because again, we don't have the longest runway here. We're kind of maxed out on space over here. So it really helps to kind of have that visual when we're coming in, because usually we come in from the ocean side here just because again that's the easiest flight path in, and we can go down and touch down right here. So I think it looks really cool. I also put some more of like a taxiway through here, and I've actually gone through while we're over here. I constructed a little bush plane, which is right over there, and I'll show probably in the next video, just so this one doesn't get too long, the purpose for crafting it, because I actually built a few extra runways in the world, so that way I don't have to use my elytra to get everywhere, and it's just kind of cool to be able to use the planes to get around a little bit more. So I'll kind of cover that in the next episode, I think. But I also constructed the rest of the available cars. Again, we've had the truck and our little clunker car there, but now we have our SUV and we have a sports car, which I've actually found myself using these two a lot more. The truck a little bit, and also not really our clunker. Our clunker's actually been kind of just chilling out here for the longest time. I think one of the projects we'll have to do coming up is maybe putting in like an underground garage. I thought about maybe taking this out, which again, this is our car generation one. And oh, actually, I left parts in here. Interesting, because I spawned that other car. But okay, yeah, I had some parts in there when I was messing around with it. But yeah, I figured we might do like an underground parking garage right under here, and maybe just have it come in from this way, Again, I've touched this up a little bit and put a road in through here, and that way I figured we could just drive right across our airport and into our parking garage. Because again, this would probably be the best place to put it because I don't really have any other room going up that way. So we'll kind of go around. There's still a lot of work to do. I still have areas to finish. I can kind of see the road over here. I do need to finish this area and still need to put a road in going down this way. But I think I kind of have a directional path for where we're going to put it. It'll be a little bit of a tighter fit than I had hoped, but I think it'll end up working out here. So I haven't made many changes across the way to some of our farms over that way by the bridge. One of the projects that I want to do, and I think we might do that when we have our next live stream, is I think that we're going to actually move this wall out to the other side of the water. The reason I say that, for a couple reasons: our borders have grown significantly. The only gap would be right about here. So, well, probably just want to be safe. I would hate for them to try to fit a pirate ship into here or somehow spawn in the water if we put the wall along the coastline. But everywhere else, we have the ability to kind of take it across like we did in the southern part of our colony. Over here, we can probably take most of this out, and that way the main reason I want to do that is because recently we've been getting pretty big raids. Sometimes two, sometimes three different like troops of raiders, and that barbarians a lot recently. I haven't really had many pirate attacks, but yeah, we've had three ones from each coming from like this side, two from the northeast, and one from the southeast as well. I'm just thinking of my directions, but yeah, the main thing is because they do come running right down where these birch trees are down here, and they all kind of float down here. And I've had issues recently with our soldiers when I rally them to come here, that they decide, because again, these are just iron bars, so they decide to go up and over and jump in and try to pursue them, and they either drown or they can't move as fast and they get shot. So it's one of those things that I'm thinking about moving it across and maybe putting up like a smaller wall instead of, now that we kind of established that we really only need the wall instead of like a bigger wall, we could just use a smaller wall. I'm figuring what we could do, since we've been getting a lot of raids from over here, is just putting like a platform so our archers could shoot down on them, because I'm afraid to rally them, because again, they're going to go off the side here and into the water, and it turns into a whole thing trying to get them out. So that's happened a few times in here, and it's also happened in the Bay Area in the southern part of our colony over there. But let me, for sake of timing, because I could probably talk about all this stuff a lot, since I've been doing a lot. I have been doing upgrading mostly. I was a little stuck for a while right now with our builders here. Unfortunately, a while back, we lost Maddox. Unfortunately, he had gotten attacked by a mob when we were upgrading the barracks over here, and since then, which was a sad thing, because again, he was with us since the very beginning. He was actually our first colonist that had spawned in, so he was with us for about almost a year, give or take. So he had a good run, but unfortunately he got attacked by a mob when I wasn't in the area and there were no guards over there. So I had to hire a new builder. Rome is our new builder, and then we also have Harlem, who took over a while ago too in the other builder's hut. But we were kind of stuck on a diorite shortage again. The andesite shortage that I had mentioned in previous videos has greatly resolved itself, but now diorite is a massive issue, and I think our miners have not been able to keep up. It got to the point that I actually had to go outside of our map here and go mine some, which I found some on a cliff's edge. I found a good amount, so that kind of fixed some of the projects that I've been working on. But yeah, it's a little bit of a shortage, and unfortunately, I haven't found any easy ways to fix it, because, and I'll get to the other reason why, because there is a workaround using your nether miner and nether quartz, but I've been having a little bit of trouble with the nether miner, so probably another question I'll have up. But I have upgraded our beekeeper's hut here to level 5. Another thing I should say too is I have stopped production on most production buildings. And I say that because our warehouse has filled up to a tremendous amount, and I was not able to keep up, and I don't want to be wasteful, and it's a bit much when it keeps loading up the warehouse and I keep getting the message every couple minutes to go clear out the warehouse. So we have enough food to probably last us for about 100 years, give or take, at this point. And we have enough honey and honeycomb to last us for a long time as well, and enough flowers. which I think, did I turn, I can't remember if I turned off the florist or not. I think I did actually, because it doesn't look like he's growing anything there. But I did make an upgrade there. I've also upgraded over here. I have upgraded our florist again. I have upgraded over here as well. The sifter here, so that's at level 4. We still have another level to go, of course. And one of the other things I've done, and the composter's already at level 5. That's been like that for a little while. But let me just pop into here. So again, this is, we have to spruce this area up, but this is the area where we make our fuel for our planes and for the car. I have made a small little change, and the little change is I just added a hopper and a little chest to collect the byproducts of the fuel making process. So again, part of it is burning wood, which we have a lot of acacia wood right now. So I've been trying to burn through that. And yeah, so I just kind of had it where it can extract it out to here, and over here with the canola cake, just pulling out of here. So that way it kind of keeps things going for a while, and then I'll empty the chest eventually. But yes, I kind of made a little bit of a change there. Let me pop back out and let's head back on the road. And again, I've been striping where I can. There are not many changes over here. Again, most of our houses are level 4. We do have to do an upgrade to level 5. But our sawmill and our stonemason, I have both upgraded them to level 5 as well. This is kind of the change in the style. Sorry, that's really bright. This is kind of the change in the style that I was talking about, like more about these like pale type pieces of wood that they kind of incorporate into it. Not the biggest fan of it. It doesn't look bad or anything, but I kind of like the old style a little bit more. I do like the blue roofs and that, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that. But again, when we upgrade some of the buildings that were pre-existing that didn't have it, they change it out just because of the new style that has been introduced for Caledonia. And I do have to do some landscaping over here with our tree farm. I'm still having him cut wood because we had a shortage of oak and spruce wood, so I really had to get him going on that, because it turned out I had placed a couple acacia and jungle and dark oak saplings, and I forgot to change them out because at the time we had a ton of oak and spruce, so I kind of was trying to balance it out a little bit and get some of those. And I kind of forgot about it to change it back out, and we ended up running almost out of oak and spruce wood, but then having a ridiculous amount of acacia and more so dark oak, not as much jungle wood, but more dark oak. So that was a bit much, but I kind of balanced it back out a little bit. But I do have to do some trimming. As you can see, the leaves are kind of hanging out up there. And I kind of touched up this area over here. If you remember, for the longest time, I had that gaudy tree that kind of had some kind of like what is going on over there with some logs trapped in there. I cleared that out, and I've tried to make this into a little park, and actually it looks like something might have happened here, because I'm missing some leaves. But I tried to turn this into a little park. I have to finish it, but I figured we could put like some trees or something. I put some flowers in here, and I kind of have to finish the pathway down here because this area has always been kind of open, just because where the fisherwoman's hut is down here. But I feel like this is like a nice little addition, and we could probably put some trees in and kind of make it a little bit more green and nice, like a nice little park area in the colony here. Now, the other thing while we're over here that I'll stop and talk about is our nether miner. And I feel like recently, probably the last couple weeks, I would say, because again, I've been in and out of the game, I'm not entirely sure if our nether miner has been mining. And I say that because I've had the same nether miner for a while. Again, as you know, there's a short lifespan for the nether miners. Even if they're at a higher level, they're prone to die. And we could see right down here, Grayson's been doing this for a little while. Our last nether miner also I felt like was not going into the nether, but then she did for some reason. I'm not sure what triggered her to do so, but she did, and she had died in there. So I replaced her with Grayson. And I know that they're not in there all day, and I don't know if it has anything to do with because of us having mods that kind of change the timing of the world. Grayson seems to just kind of chill out down here all day. I haven't seen him like not leave around this little table area. He doesn't circle around the building here. I'm not entirely sure like what's wrong, because I've looked up on the Discord for MineColonies, and other people have had this issue, and it looks like he's actually changed out. It makes me think, because he changes out some of the armor, which it looks like he has. I gave him some diamond tools because I thought that might be what it is, but I'm pretty sure he has all of the tools that he needs. I took everything out of his inventory, so he had to re-request everything, and then I ended up giving him some diamond tools. I haven't I You can see the warehouse warning on the bottom. I haven't I haven't taught the blacksmith how to make diamond gear just because we have a decent amount of diamonds, a couple hundred, but I just don't want them burning through and making diamond gear for all of our guards. So again, we have an iron mine. I've been trying to stick to mostly iron gear there. But yeah, he's just been kind of chilling. I'm not entirely sure if he's actually going in there because again, there's no product here. And I've been monitoring the warehouse and the various stuff like netherrack or blackstone. It looks like it's gone up a little bit, but not by much. No, not that much netherite scrap. I've tried to repair the building. I've tried a lot. I've tried to Google different solutions, looked on Reddit, everywhere else. I can't seem to find anything. If anyone's had anything similar where, the nether miner's just kind of chilling, it looks like he has the stuff that he needs. There doesn't appear to be anything wrong with the hut. Again, I've repaired it, like done the repair option twice, which hasn't really changed anything. I unlit and lit the portal here, tried to fix it that way, and nothing. I feel like he's not really mining. I've gone through this portal. I thought maybe because, again, I used to use a different portal, but I went through the portal and still nothing after. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I've been meaning to ask the community for a while if anyone's experienced something similar. But if you have, drop a comment down below or post in our Discord a potential solution or a link if you have it there. I've been trying to figure it out because, again, I haven't actually seen him go in. Every time I come and check, I check at various times during the day. He's just kind of chilling there. So it makes me think that because I believe they're supposed to disappear, even though they're not actually going into the nether. I believe they're supposed to disappear. So yeah, if anyone has any solutions, please let me know. That would be greatly appreciated. But for sake of time, let's keep going down here. So I did upgrade our mechanics hut. You could see some of the changes there now. So the mechanics hut is up to level 5. And not a lot changed on this side. A lot of these buildings were already up at level 5. Our concrete mixer, I upgraded a little bit over here. It made it a little bit more condensed, it feels like. But yeah, this is at level 4 because this was at level 1 for the longest time. And our glassmaker's hut, I've been upgrading that as well. And our Fletcher's building, I've upgraded that somewhat too. So beginning these up, we still have a couple levels to go over here. But the main reason I haven't been doing a lot more upgrading, or I don't have all these upgraded to level 5. And when we head on to the other side of the colony, and let me find a staircase here, we'll work our way down, going this way. So I upgraded our library. I actually really like the look of the library, incorporating a lot of the copper into the design. It makes it look very distinguished, and it kind of gives it like an industrial look, which I think is pretty cool with like the way that the copper pillars are there. But yeah, looking good. I got this up to level 5. That way we can be training the maximum amount of colonists at a time. And I think the library is still one of my favorite buildings just because of the way it looks on the inside. Like it just looks very distinguished, and I think it's cool. But yeah, so I got this all fully upgraded. Again, I'm making sure that we always have 10 colonists inside at a time. I've had to move some over to guards, so our the ability for new colonists to be born is currently turned off. I only turn it on when we're ready to replace some or when I'm adding extra guards, and that way we're opening spaces. But I also upgraded the school as well to level 5. The school, obviously, we don't have as many kids running through here, but just for sake of getting it up to level 5, I upgraded it there. And let me just come down this way. I've upgraded the farmers huts over here, but I've actually turned them off. The new design kind of cut into the greenhouse here, which I do need to fix this. There's a little bit of a gap, but the crops have been growing very well still in winter, but you can see that they're not really doing much. I've actually just disabled the fields right now. That's probably why there's the little gear sign over the head, because they have no fields to work on, but we have too much grain, carrots, and potatoes, so I've kind of taken a step back there. We also have a bunch of pumpkins and a bunch of watermelon that I grew myself. The only production buildings I really have on right now are the plantations, just for sugarcane, basically. I could probably even stop it from using bamboo and cactus, because again, we have a lot of those, probably more than we will ever need. But bamboo seems to I'm sorry, sugarcane. Sugarcane seems to be in very high demand always because, again, we have a good amount of a need for paper. I needed some emeralds recently to get some more mending books, so I had to craft some more books so I could sell them at our mending village, which is over there. And yeah, so I've been burning through. We also have our auto sugarcane farm. I've had to go through a couple times and dump a bunch of sugarcane into our colony supply here so that they could be crafted in the paper. Because again, the library uses a bunch, and yeah, so we've been kind of burning through it pretty quickly. But yeah, the biggest addition over here. So we do have our archery from last time. I upgraded this to level 5 as well. Over here, you can see them training right now. This is kind of maxed out with workers. And the other big thing that I did, but because of the recent attacks, is I built a second barracks. And this project took a while because, again, we had a massive diorite shortage, unfortunately. So this is the reason I had to go to a different part of the world, essentially a cliff over in this way, which I'm going to probably post some pictures of it, and maybe I'll actually include them in here. But uh, I aptly called it Cool Cliff. It's a very beautiful area over there, and I kind of labeled it because I definitely want to go back over there. It's not that far away, just to maybe do something eventually because it's just a natural beauty. Like it shows the best of like, well, we're in 119, but again, this world was once generated in 118. So just to kind of show the best features of 118 with the cliffs update. I'll post pictures on the screen and just kind of show it. But I thought it was really cool and I really enjoyed it. So I figured we go back there at some point and maybe build something there or do something there. But anyways, yeah, so this barracks is now at level 5. I recently got it completed at level 5, and I have to add in a few more, I think, guards, or a few more guards, or knights, I think, because I'm a little bit, with the upgrade to level 5, we can add the extra one in, so we can add 4 extra guards in there, but that way we have 2. And I'm actually thinking of putting in a third barracks somewhere down here, maybe like right over in this area right over here. I'm thinking about just so we kind of have a barracks in each area, because again, we did get some attacks from this direction as well, but having the extra guard power has been helping with happiness. That seemed to be a complaint of some of the colonists that they didn't feel safe with the appropriate amount of guards. And I feel like just having the extra power when we're getting these attacks has been very beneficial. So I'm thinking we might put one down here, and also to increase our border too, because again, we still do have, even though no raiders have spawned into here, we do have a little bit of a gap right here because again, here's our wall in the southern part, but luckily no one has spawned in there. I actually released some golems up here just to kind of roam just in case. Who knows what happened to them? That was a little while ago. And we've had golems in the past, obviously, that have kind of drifted away too. But yeah, so I'm thinking about putting one in down there again. Maybe that's what we'll do in the future, but I think we kind of have to build up our diorite supply because again, you can see how much polished diorite this uses, this design. I think the barracks is one of my favorite builds as well, but very expensive to put in. But again, it's well worth it. And yeah, so down here, I think I've introduced this in the past, but yeah, we're gonna eventually do more stuff with this area. I have to fix the terrain. I know this is like really messy over here. We could use a lot of fixing just to make it look good, but I think we're gonna have it come down to this level. I have put another courier's hut here and a guard tower, because again, this is the western border of our colony. Again, there's a little river here, not as big as it is on the other side, but we do technically have some land in our colony over past that wall, but I don't really see a purpose as of right now anyways to extend this out. We don't get many attacks from this side. Everything mostly comes from the northeast side, and I think mostly because again, most of our colony is concentrated right over in this area. Again, this is the biggest populated area over here, so that's probably why they attack from this area. And I guess maybe they're sensing too, because again, we do have 2 vulnerabilities with the door right here that we used to use before we got our elytra. We put that in, haven't really used it that much. Otherwise, just because, again, there's not a purpose to really use boats that much anymore to get around. And there's also a gate right over here, right by our sugarcane farm, our cotton farm, and our sheep farm, our wool farm, I should say, right over here. So there are a couple of vulnerabilities. I think with our elytra now, we could probably, well, the one by I have a bunch of golems over in the one by our wool farm, but I the other vulnerability is like the door in the middle of the little river over here. I feel like we could probably take that out, and that's going to be part of the project when we push the wall all the way back over here. So I know a lot of stuff happening right now. I have a bunch of plans for the future as well, but I have been trying to stay on top of it, make some progress where I can. Again, the diorite shortage kind of slowed things down. Our other builder is actually kind of stuck on our alchemist laboratory because I need to get a rabbit's foot, which I have not been able to obtain at all, unfortunately, even after massacring a few rabbits along the way. I have not been able to secure a rabbit foot. So I've been hoping the wandering trader will come and have one as a trade option, but no luck so far. So I'm hoping to secure one soon, and that way we can get a rabbit's foot, which would be ideal. But yeah, other than that, I know this has been a very long video nonetheless. I've been doing a lot of talking. Thank you so much if you made it this far into the video. But, lots been going on. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. Again, I'm hoping to get back into it on a more regular basis and hopefully start live streaming again soon now that, things are starting to free up a little bit more. So, but I'm going to leave it here for today. Thank you so much for coming in and come checking out the update video of everything that's been going on. We have a handful of builds. I think with our next video, we'll get back into another build. Again, we have a handful of buildings left, so we'll look to maybe pound those out. And then, we'll work on some other projects around our colony. But until then, my name is Nerd Builder. Thank you so much. And I almost forgot, if you did enjoy the video, please consider dropping a like on the video. It really helps out our channel and our community. Again, your support throughout this, even when I haven't been posting as frequently, is greatly appreciated. Miss you all. Can't wait to see you all again in a live stream. And if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to our channel. It's free and it's a great way to support our community, and you'll always be notified when we get a new video. And again, as we make a push towards 1,000 subs as well, it's greatly appreciated. But until then, my name is Nerd Builder. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.